Google Analytics uses a data model with three components: users, sessions, and interactions, to organize the data you see in your reports. These three components are derived from the hits that the tracking code sends to Google Analytics. In this lesson, we'll focus on how Google Analytics transforms these hits into users and sessions. First, let's talk about how Google Analytics creates users. The first time a device loads your content and a hit is recorded, Google Analytics creates a random unique ID that is associated with the device. Each unique ID is considered to be a unique user in Google Analytics. This unique ID is sent to Google Analytics in each hit, and every time a new ID is detected, Google Analytics counts a new user. When Google Analytics sees an existing ID in a hit, it counts a returning user. It's possible for these IDs to get reset or erased. This happens if a user clears their cookies in a web browser or uninstalls and then reinstalls a mobile app. In these scenarios, Google Analytics will set a new unique ID the next time the device loads your content. Because the ID for the device is no longer the same as it was before, a new user gets counted instead of a returning user. The unique ID that Google Analytics automatically sets is specific to every device, but you can customize how Google Analytics creates and assigns the ID. Rather than using the random numbers that the tracking code creates, you can override the unique ID with your own number. This lets you associate user interactions across multiple devices. Now let's talk about how Google Analytics creates sessions. A session in Google Analytics is a collection of interactions, or hits, from a specific user during a defined period of time. These interactions can include page views, events, or e-commerce transactions. A single user can have multiple sessions. Those sessions can occur on the same day or over several days, weeks, or months. As soon as one session ends, there is then an opportunity to start a new session. But how does Google Analytics know that a session has ended? By default, a session ends after 30 minutes of inactivity. We call this period of time the session timeout length. If Google Analytics stops receiving hits for a period of time longer than the timeout length, the session ends. The next time Google Analytics detects a hit from the user, a new session is started. Here's a simple illustration of what sessions might look like in the real world. Let's say a user searches for something on google.com and clicks one of the search results. When they land on the web page, a new user is detected, a page view hit is collected, and the session begins. If the user clicks to another page on the same site, the new page view hit is sent to Google Analytics and processed as part of the same session. But let's say the user leaves their computer for 2 hours. When they return to their computer and click to a new page on the same site, a new session will begin. Google Analytics automatically ends the first session because too much time passed without receiving any hits. In this scenario, Google Analytics will process the data as two separate sessions. The 30-minute default timeout length is appropriate for most sites and apps, but you can change this setting in your configuration based on your business needs. For example, you might want to lengthen the session timeout if your website visitors or app users do not interact with your content frequently during a session, like if they watch a video that's longer than 30 minutes. Users and sessions are a critical part of the digital analytics data model. All of the reports you see in Google Analytics depend on this model to organize the data. And the better you understand how Google Analytics creates users and sessions from the raw data, the more you'll get out of your reports.